So three fighters from Earth have to put aside their differences to work together and compete in a tournament against another realm known as Outworld, who are fighting to win the tournament and take over Earth. So it all comes down to these three heroes to save the day. It's hard to believe that the Mortal Kombat movie that came out back in 1995 has already been 30 years old. So it's absolutely amazing how much attention it still gets, even to this very day. Both old fans and new fans who watch this film and really admire it. I mean, there's a lot of like love and hate for this film. One of which is just the fact that you know, special effects wasn't that great, or story didn't make sense, or there was no blood and gore, which is what the game was all about. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I was really glad that it was PG-13. Had it been rated R, yeah, we would have gotten the blood, guts, and gore that made the game, you know, popular as it was at that time. But the thing was that I was only 9 years old. A lot of my siblings were still young, and a lot of my friends were also young too. So had it been rated R, there was no way we were going to be able to get into that movie theater to watch this film. And this was definitely a movie that had to be watched in theaters at least like once in a lifetime, which is all you're going to get unless they decide to re-release it. But no, to get that surround sound, to hear that iconic Mortal Kombat theme song, and also be able to see your favorite characters come to life onto the big screen. Character wise, you get Liu Kang, who's the main character, and then you also have Johnny Cage, the movie star, actor, and martial artist, and then you have Sonya Blade, who is part of Special Forces, who is also you know, skilled in combat. All three of them meet to, you know, go on this journey together and represent Earthrealm. So going against Earthrealm is going to be Outworld, and leading the team for Outworld is going to be the demon sorcerer Shang Tsung. So fighting alongside Shang Tsung is going to be Sub-Zero, who is this cryomancer ninja with the ability to freeze. And then you have the Shiraiyu ninja Scorpion, who can shoot a reptilian spear out of his hand. And also you have a reptilian being known as Reptile. And then you have Kano. And then you have the terrifying half dragon, half human creature Goro. And this is just absolutely you know, unstoppable group of fighters that the heroes have to face off against. Fight scene wise, it's like, yeah, there is some fight scenes that look kind of corny, like the fight between Liu, Sonya, and Johnny Cage with the guards. You can already look and see that, you know, all these guards are just basically lining up to get beat up, or just running up to get beat up, and it just seems so corny. But the fights with the other combatants, like Liu Kang versus Sub-Zero, Johnny Cage versus Scorpion, and so on, those were actually pretty well done and very entertaining to watch. There's a lot of acrobatics in this too, which actually made it almost like watching a circus. But then the thing is that they're also fighting, so not just flipping around the whole entire time, but also utilizing a lot of their moves from the video game. So you have Johnny Cage with his nut punch, you have Sonya with her head scissors grab, Sub-Zero with his ice projectiles, and Scorpion's spear attack. And so you just have a lot of these references from the actual video game. So that just really gets people, especially me, excited when I see all these moves on screen that I've been using when I play the video game. So I thought that was like really cleverly done, and also really well done. Probably my favorite fight scene in this movie is the one between Liu Kang and Reptile. So the way Reptile comes into play is just kind of like in the video game. He's a hidden character to where you perform certain objectives in the game, and he will pop out and become like a secret fighter that you have to fight. And that's the same thing in the movie. He was found by Liu Kang, and then takes the form of a ninja, and they start fighting. The music that was playing, which is Reptile's theme, you can look it up on YouTube. It's a really rad, a rad song, and to have that playing during the fight was actually pretty epic. And the fight between him and Liu Kang, it was really well done, really well shot. You actually get a lot of wide shots to where you can see a lot of the movements, from kicks to punches to flips, to where it just really showcased like their skills as far as like performing these moves. So absolutely well done. And of course, who can forget the bicycle kick, dude? Everybody in that theater lost their minds when they saw Liu Kang setting up for that bicycle kick, and dude, that was pretty rad to see. So the amount of characters that's already in this film was a good amount. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which is the sequel to this film, was a good example of what happens when you have way too much characters. You only have like a few minutes and then they're gone. For Scorpion Sub-Zero, at least they make an appearance, throughout the film. Whereas like in Annihilation, you see him once and you never see him again, which is sad because they're really iconic characters in the Mortal Kombat series. So to have that good amount of balance really just lets you focus a little bit more on each of the characters, as well as like give them some screen time too. One of the biggest things that really made this movie shine was just the character development. Liu Kang's rage of like just wanting to get revenge on the person that killed his brother, which is Shang Tsung, in the previous tournament. And so he joins the tournament to avenge his brother's death. But the thing is that he is losing focus on the real important matter of this tournament, and that's to save Earth. You have Johnny Cage, who is trying to prove to everybody that he's the best fighter, and it's not just, for show in front of the movie cameras. And you have Sonya, who has trust issues because she trusted people to not only have her back, but to also have her partner's back, which, ended up costing him his life. And that's why she's trying to compete in this tournament to find the person that killed her partner, which is Kano. So the arrangements, the ego, and the guilt is all that's clouded these heroes' purpose for this whole entire journey to saving Earth. This is all pointed out later on by Raiden when he tells them that in order to win this tournament, they must face their fears. And that's when Raiden starts pointing out all three of their fears. Johnny is afraid that he's a fake and that he was gonna jump into any fight just to prove that he's not. But then doing so recklessly would get him killed. You have Sonya, who has trust issues, and she has to be reminded that this is a team effort. And when it comes to teamwork, it all comes down to trust. So if she doesn't trust any of her teammates, then she's going to lose. And of course, Liu Kang, who still feels the guilt for the death of his brother, but he needs to understand that his brother made the choice to compete in the tournament. Shang Tsung is such a underrated villain in the Mortal Kombat universe, and this movie just really shows why he is truly more dangerous than all the other combatants representing Outworld. So when you look at Shang Tsung, he's a sorcerer, and he has the ability to shapeshift and also look into other people's souls and find their weakness and use their fear against them. He uses this to plot the whole entire tournament, as well as even bringing Liu Kang, Sonya, and Johnny Cage into the tournament. So when you look at from the very beginning, he took on the form of Master Boyd to trick Johnny into joining the tournament, but for fame and glory, and therefore letting his ego dictate all his decisions and fight recklessly. And then you have Kano, who he hires to kill Sonya's partner, knowing that it would enrage her, as well as get her to distrust everybody around her and distancing herself from everybody, leaving her by herself to easily get defeated. And then of course you have Liu Kang. He kills his brother in order to get Liu Kang frustrated, emotional, and most of all enraged, to where he loses focus on the actual fight and therefore making him easy to beat. So that's one of the reasons why Raiden has told them that in order to win this tournament, they would all have to face their fears. And so it's just so interesting how Shang Tsung is the complete opposite of Raiden. Raiden's trying to guide them towards making the right choices, whereas Shang Tsung is manipulating them to making the wrong choices. So despite all the remakes, all the reboots, all the reshoots and redos, this is still by far the most watched video game adaptation film as far as like Mortal Kombat goes. There's already a remake in 2021, and then there's a sequel that's coming out in 2026. So despite all that, I still come back to this one, which is, thankfully I was able to experience in theater even as a kid. And, hopefully it's one that people will look at to take notes on as far as like the amount of characters to have, character developments, and also source materials, because there were a lot of source materials in this film that definitely made it shine as well. All right, guys, so that's it for this. All right, guys, so that's it for this review on Mortal Kombat 1995. I hope you guys liked it. For those of you guys who have seen it, let me know what you think in the comments below. And also, if you guys were to compare this with the new films, which one would you prefer, the old school or the new school? So let me know. And if you guys haven't done so either, definitely click on that subscribe button. That way you guys can get more updates on any projects, events, or any future movie reviews. So until then, guys, this is Jason Lore with Jason Lore Photography and Films, bringing art, stories, and entertainment, and we'll see you guys at the movies.